Checking our channel here. This is going to be possibly a repair video on a Gallagher M80. Not sure if we can fix it or not. We're going to give it a whirl and see. This thing is probably from the early 90s, mid 90s. This model, they stopped making it in like 2003 or 2 or 4. It was 20 years ago that they stopped making this model. But they came out with it in the early 90s. So it's 35-year-old technology. So, but the note on it said it pulsed very slow, or pulsed slowed down to 5 seconds, and then it quit completely. So, not sure what that is, what that means exactly. You know, what's caused that. We just have to go through and test some stuff out. But these are really good old units, these Gallagher M80s. This whole generation of units from the 90s. Almost any brand you bought back in the 90s, even the expensive or somewhat cheaper ones, you would still get a decent life out of them. May not be the longest life, but this thing, I think it's got the original transformer in it from however long ago. The original board for sure. The later board looked a little bit different than this, different color green. It was brighter green, and they stopped using this wire thing. It had a V-clip soldered to the board that went over here to that. That was a thing they changed on them later on. But let's get this wire unplugged. Oh, come on. It looks okay. It looks physically really nice for however old this thing is. Let's see if this transformer's got a sticker on the side with some specs on it. Let's see if it's got a date on it at all. No, it does not. Just some of the specs, how often it pulsed, the voltage output, this and that. Let's see if it has anything about joules. Does not. Alright, no big deal. Well, first thing I want to do is if it quit altogether, I like to do is check all the diodes first. We'll check the main capacitor as well. But let's check these diodes. That's good. That's good. Let's check that or the fuse is fine. There's an SCR, but they don't go bad that often on these things. Let's check this capacitor. Let's actually remove it out of circuit. So I don't think you can get good readings on these when they're actually attached to the board. It gets kind of squirrely. So you usually have to take them out of circuit. Let's strip off a little bit of this wire insulation. Check the capacitor. I don't know if this is 6 microfarad or an 8. It's reading 4. What size is it? It's a 6. So we're reading 3.9 out of 6, which is pretty low. But I don't think that's low enough to make it not work. We can put another one in there, not a big, another capacitor in there, not a big deal. Trying to get. Okay, let's get another capacitor in there and we'll fire this thing back up. Alright, this is a 6 microfarad capacitor. It's made to solder into a board, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that. not do that at all. It wouldn't sit down all the way anyways because there's things there. So what we're going to probably have to do is put it like right there where the other one sat at. Solder wires across. So there's no polarity. These are not polarized capacitors. Even the factory one is, you know, has green and blue. There's not a polarity to the capacitor when it goes to that board. That does not matter. All right, let's get solder. Where is it? There it is. All right, so let's tin the wires on all the stuff we need to solder on. Let's tin that lead there. Tin that lead there, and then we'll just a little yellow wire. I'm just going to touch up that solder joint. Just that way there's something fresh there for me to solder on. And we'll take this wire. Okay, solder that one on. And then it's going to go right there. And then we're going to cut it sort of long. Okay, well, that'll work, I think. Tin this wire on here. And then we'll right there, and it will repeat. Come on. Quit moving on me. Okay. And we'll snip it just a little long so I have a little bit of wire to play with here. Ooh, hot. God dang. All right, let's get a zip tie put through this case here. I'll put to the board here. This through here. Well, let's see what happens. Okay. Let's plug it in here and see what happens. It's 110, 120 volt cord or unit. There it goes. That's all it was. You know, this thing was reading about 3.8, whatever it was, microfarads out of 6. I guess it was just too low. It also feels awful light compared to what it normally feels like. So I think this, the internals of it are weakened besides it just reading a lower microfarads number. But let's test the output voltage. We should be, I don't know, 7,000 plus or minus. About 8,000 volts. That's good. All right, see, it's kind of sparked this little thing shoots out. Okay, the camera's not picking it up real well. There you go. All right, we'll put the cover on it and give the customer a call. A nice fix on the thing. Gallagher M80, thing's 30-something years old, finally quit on itself, and then do some testing and some repairs on it, and goes right back to working. So, old school rules.